Right, we got no time. No time. Time limited today. Episode 315, Inside Line. I am Drift Johnson. This is Scuffed Epoch. Welcome back, everybody. So, like I said, it is Sunday. It's 4:15. We're doing an early show, so I doubt anyone's going to catch this one. It's probably going to be quite short. We're going to do a quick roundup of all the stuff, show you all the things that happened in the last week, and just basically get it done, because I'm not around tonight, and I don't want you guys to miss out. We got a lot done over the last week, so hopefully everything's working. So let's plow through. Now, obviously, I got some new custom nodes out. I want to talk about that. That'll be comfy UI content for all the people who aren't misled by my confusing video titles. So, we have ZeroPrompt, which we will be looking at, but we need to get there. And so last time, if you missed episode 314, we were talking about the game dev components. So that would be at the scuffedepoch.com/gamedev-JSX. And that would be all of these various components you can drop in. It's JSX components are easy to integrate into various different apps. And so what I say is split up what you're doing and develop each piece as a module. Really make that nice, and then stitch them all together with design, because you planned this in advance. You'll notice a lot of these are all related to a Star Fox project, okay, which I'm obviously working on. Procedural terrain and 3D layered terrain. This one is a ZeroBytes. Puppet JSX ZeroBytes. Infinite characters with animations and dungeons and stats and everything else. So, that's where we were at last time. Now, I already showed you games which were built on these various different things last time. So we're going to have a look at what came up next. So first of all, it was the ZeroBytes combat layer. This is going to be using infinitely deterministic procedural combat resolution with precision as seed. Now, none of that makes much sense, so why don't I just quickly show you. I don't have the demo on the main website yet because it's new. But as you can see here, we have a combat situation. And if you notice, we have heroes and we have enemies, and they have relationships in 2 dimensions looking down from above. Now we have various different attacks that we might do. Okay, and you can see here's the result. So if this hero is to move, we get different results. Position as seed. So then you don't need RNG, and you can instantly resolve all combat with pure position. All right. If you know, you know. So I'm not going to spend too long about it. But the bottom line is we can do an attack. We can do an attack. We can do an attack. But the thing is, nobody just stands still for a start. And also, when you've got lots of different attack chances, that's also a variable. And then we've also got 3 dimensions, not 2. So the chances that the position will change is extremely, you've got 2 people trying to fight each other. They're not going to stand there. It will change. All right. And that's basically the whole idea. As they move around, the results are different. Okay? I mean, obviously, as you can see, we got, 5 different attacks. Okay? And they're set from current position. Here we have the various things. So that's what the ZB combat layer is anyway. Full demo if you want to check it out. Full notes on the GitHub. So it's a combat resolution system that uses spatial coordinates as deterministic seeds for all combat outcomes. Instead of managing RNG, synchronizing random seeds across networks, or storing history, position of attacker and target at the moment of attack becomes the source of all randomness. So there it is. Uses 0-1 resolution, and it can be done in parallel. If you have GPU, you can do thousands of these at once. So that's the beauty of it. All right. ZeroBytes combat layer, and we're going to see that being used in a game that we're going to get at in a little bit. Next up is the Linus Torvalds building principles skill, part of my building principles skill collection, which is aimed at targeting Linus Torvalds' best practice. The man is prolific. And I actually believe that some of the AIs actually know his character a little from all of the comments that have been ingested into the training set. But that's just a theory. The point is, this is going to give you an assessment agent. He's going to help you with advice. He's going to say, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Maybe you should do this. This is bad. Do it like this. So you can just say, using Torvalds building principles, or Torvalds style review. Those are the 2 functions we have with this one. You would normally, invoke a document or file or whatever, or copy some text in. Okay. He's going to write you a _LT readme.md, which can then be actioned to fix the problem. Yep. So as you can see, we have assessment dimensions. There's a lot of them. I highly recommend going and checking them out. I've got all of these installed on my Claude Code and they work great. Okay, next up. Moon Defender. So we took a demo for Bullet.js for this one. So this is my Moon Defender. We have a vehicle. And it's an early version by the looks of it. Yeah, so in this one we're on the moon. So I can brake. Yeah. Okay, and then I can press Z for auto fire. No, is it X? X is focus, X is spread. Is there an auto fire in this one? No. Oh, I'm shooting things. Oh, robots. So remember my 3D procedural robot simulation thing? I've got the music turned down. Hang on, it's got Super NES audio as well. So we've got the buff system on the left, which you'll be used to seeing in my games by now. It's like a what do you call it? A less invasive form of the Vampire Survivors buff system. So essentially what we're doing is we're driving around and we've got little guns on the corners of the car there, but they're just point defense. Really, you want to press the missile launcher. It's a VLLMS. Hello Dom, welcome. So really this plan was built with tins using a combination of my 3D procedural terrain, which we showed off last week, and then also the combat. No, this doesn't have combat, it's a different one. See, what I'm doing is I'm continuously adding different plan ingredients. I'm glad you could make it actually, Dom. I'm doing my show super early today, so no one's even around, so I'm glad you could make it. Mostly because I won't be around tonight. But yeah, this is Moon Defenders, which is a fully featured prototype demo. It's got the full buff system. We have the 3D truck. It's deliberately dark for aesthetic. Okay. And we are exploring an infinite world. This is an infinite world. And whenever we get close to enemies, we can fire with the MLRS. The idea, the concept of the game is we had robots on the moon. And they were building themselves, self-replicating machines, and they've gone out of control. And so now we have to come down here and just cull them. It's like a culling, a robot culling. But anyway, the game features craters. So there are, as you can see here, we have craters we can drive around on. We have a super heavy. This is supposed to be like a giant vehicle. So it probably moves a bit too fast, to be honest. But there's places of interest on the moon. If I just keep driving, I'll eventually. Yeah, we go. Right, here we go. Combat time. So we got a vertical launch missile system, which at this level is very easy to deal with. Okay, level 0 is like a tutorial. So we got the pop-ups coming up there. Now, what I've done to demonstrate that this is infinite in 3 dimensions, X and Y is obviously the terrain, but N is the floor. That's height. So we can go to the next planet, which is going to be harder. There'll be more enemies. They'll be harder to kill. You know, it's like a scaling system. But what I did to make it even more cool, which will probably get me destroyed, but we'll move on to the next game anyway, because I've actually developed this game into a sequel. There's a Moon Defender 2, and then there's another game which was based on this. So. But as you can see, we have all of our cool. So yeah, we're just doing our drive around, because this is going to be infinitely procedural, with infinitely procedural enemies. So what do you call it? Vampire Survivors with robots on the moon in a truck. And like I said, this is a lot of fun to figure out, because a lot of the time physics goes wrong with vibe code. It can't really do it right, so you have to know what you're doing. And this was achieved with tins, the gift that keeps on giving. So let's go to Mars. We have to go up a couple of levels. So I'm going to be way too weak. I'll be under-leveled for Mars. But we'll go there anyway. Oh, wait. This is Moon Defenders 1. There ain't no Mars yet. All right. Fire! Oh, no! Yeah, I'm hugely under-leveled. Alright. I'm getting busted. Let's just get number 2, please. Right, Moon Defender 2. So I wanted to put up the Moon Defender 1 and the 2 to show the difference, but the main difference here is the enemy system is now fully realized. I think we have an auto fire system, yeah. There's full graphics and special effects on all of the animations and the deaths and whatnot. These are procedurally generated wireframe robots that come complete with all of their stats and names and everything. The 3D terrain is doing all of the spawning and like what is going to be where. And obviously it's still got that moon aesthetic. Just need to do some upgrades. Whoa, did I just refresh the game? I don't think so. So we are now firing. Have I just glitched out my game? I think I have. There we go. Right. Let me just refresh this because I want to show you the main difference with this. The main difference was base building. When you park, you can press 5, I think it was. Where is it? This has the base building. So how did I do it? Maybe it doesn't. See, I've made so many games in the last week. They're all sort of confused together. Okay, so we got the drift here. 1, 2, 3 buff system, B brake, X focus, F auto fire. Okay, so this is just big battles. And obviously it upgrades. I think I keep pushing the... Wow, I'm breaking my games. Refresh. Clear the cache. That's what I need to do. Alright. I'm getting ahead of myself. So here we have Moon Defender 2, which is what we're showing right now. And yeah, I see there is base building. I must just be pushing the wrong buttons, guys. I probably need to go and read my own README. There's secrets, okay? So I'm not going to reveal any more secrets. I'm going to just move on to the next game because I kept developing this concept, you see what I mean? In a couple of different ways. So the next game on the menu is Agentic. This is Agentic because it says Agentic on it, and when you click it, it says
Agentic.
Or
Agentic.
Or
Agentic.
Or
Agentic.
And so you know it's Agentic because it says
Agentic.
And there's a button that says
Agentic.
And it says
Agentic.
when you click the button that says
Agentic.
Alright, that's enough gags. That's how you know. Because someone asked me, how do you know if it's Agentic? It's usually the words they put on the website. I thought you might appreciate that one, Dom. Yeah, it's a good... Here's Desert Harvest. The next game. Alright, now this one is a little bit more developed. We have an actual start menu. We have a save game system. We have settings. And I'm going to put it on Ultra. Alright. New game. Now then. The reason I showed the first two is because this is the same game. It's just been developed for a couple more hours with new ideas. So, same vertical missile system, same point defense system. If you've ever played Command and Conquer or a real-time strategy game, there is a harvester who has to go and pick up the ore. So right now I'm in an ore field. So let's just have a little drive around. You hear my cool engine? All of these are JSX files, which I've given out, by the way. The audio for the truck. The audio for the truck is a JSX. The radar component is a JSX. The terrain component is a JSX. Right, let's park. So while we're parked, we're going to pick up ore. Now, in the real game, I wouldn't allow you to build a refinery on the ore field. But for the sake of, speeding up development, we allow it. So what we're going to do is we're going to press tab to open the build menu, and then 2 to select the thing we want, and then 5 and to build the box at the nose. Now, when we started developing the game, everything was white box. However, that right there is a GLB 3D mesh that was built with my JSON in-game editor. Okay, so you'll notice when this game starts, there's a thing called Designer in the main menu. That is the editor that made the assets for the game. So whenever I needed to make a 3D model, I just made a simple geometric BSP editor in the game that then saves the assets and bakes them so that, you iterate in the process. So as you can see, that's now my little base icon right there. And I'm not mining anymore because I'm full. My truck is now full. So I need to make the next bit of the base. So we're going to press 2, tab. It's 1 and 3 to cycle, and 2 to select, and 5 to build. So the placeholder cube is now going to become more opaque and grow a bit to indicate that it's being built. Now we have a little solar panel thing. You see, I've just used the same. It's not like, you know, it's just a little, like, what do you call it? Placeholder plus. Yeah. So let's go tab again. I'm going to want to make something else. Have I run out of money? Oh, I got to wait for energy? I don't know. I'm waiting for... Ah, there we go. Ore refinery. Beautiful. See, I'm going to need that to make more money to build my base. And now you can start to see that this is... It's Command and Conquer in the desert. It's June 2. You know what I mean? It's whatever you want, but it's built in React with 3JS for fun. Okay. And it's all done with procedural determinism on the ZeroBytes. So it's like all self-generative. So now we have... That's a refinery. I should probably make the buildings bigger, but I wanted the car to be ginormous. You know, like an earth lifter that you get in a quarry, but even bigger than that, I was thinking. So let's see, what do we need? We need 250 energy. We don't have that, so we need another power thing. And like I said, we built all of the components for everything with tins and JSX components, as I've been showing everybody, and then putting it all together. And you can do this with Gemini or Claude. I don't judge. It doesn't matter. Alright, so let's put the perimeter defense up. Now, perimeter defense is quite funny. I had some trouble with the turrets appearing at a crazy height. So I just put pillars underneath them. And then the pillars are too high. But these are the sorts of things you have with LLM when you're coding. He doesn't really know what it is. So as you can see, look, our turrets are like super tall, but if you look underground, they are... Because I said we can bury the pillars in the ground so that you don't need to know the height. Now, in the end, I've got a solution, a function that will tell me the correct height from the terrain generation. So we know what the height is. Otherwise, there'd be seams everywhere. But the funny thing is, like, I don't know, I just kind of left it like that. I just thought it was funny. You'll see the lighting from the previous game appear at night. It's like a little hat nod to where this came from, so you can tell, yes, this is the same game. Alright, it's just been developed a little bit more. Let's see. Radar array, please. There we go. See the lights? It's the exact same lighting. But here's the fun part, though. It is the same, but it's not. The Moon Defender used a demo.js that was included as TypeScript, whereas this is a full rewrite. So this doesn't have any of the demo code. Even though it does have a demo TS, the original JS is gone. And what's even funnier is if you ask Opus, hey Opus, I need to remove the demo JS. I don't need it anymore, do I? He'll say, no, I ported that code. You don't need it. If you move the file, the game breaks. I'm like, So you got to be careful with what he's telling you. I always say test it, and then you'll know for sure. Just test it. So we've got our little radar dish now. Okay. And you got to remember, this was built, in a day for fun. Because I wanted to prove out the method, right? So we'll go with the drone factory. The drone factory is going to give me orbital... No, it's going to give the base orbital defense drones. In Moon Defender, you get orbital drones. See, the joke is, Moon Defender, I went a bit... Moon Defender 2 has orbital strikes, air strikes, and orbital drones. This one has a tank factory, so we'll have some tanks following us about, which is fun. So I wanted to sort of lean into the... Command and Conquer stuff. So we've got a little transmitter there, and you can see up in the sky now, we've got little drones that are orbiting the perimeter. All right? Okay. Now, what's the next build queue thing? I need more power. So we'll do energy pylon there. This is like Supreme Commander type stuff, but you're driving it rather than point and click. It's like, another one of those, please. Okay, and we'll go with this. And we'll go with a helipad. Helipad will give me the airstrikes. So you don't actually command them. You just say, I need an airstrike here, and then they show up and bomb it, basically. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different because it's not point and click, but it is kind of the same. I'm just noticing now that my brightness is insane. Could probably turn that down. There is a slider in the options menu, I just didn't change it. Yeah, there is a save game system as well, which we will show off. Because when you're dealing with procedural determinism, the risk is that, you know, the ground will change and then all of your buildings are in the wrong place. And I had two ways of getting around that. In Moon Defender 2, we had the height be whatever the floor is, so it doesn't save the height. Whereas in this one, I managed to lock it down. The main reason for Moon Defenders 2, you take your base with you as you go to new planets, so it has to change. But in this one, it doesn't. Okay. I think we built everything. Maybe there's one more thing. Tank factory. Yeah, we need the tank factory and the orbital uplink for the orbital strikes. Bum, 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 bum. Gotta wait for it to finish. There is a day-night cycle as well. It's not always dark. Night clear. There's a weather system as well. I forgot about the weather system. And the idea is you go out, you find ore, you put a beacon down, and then you go and build a base somewhere, and you'll have 2 dots on the map that you can just drive back and forth from. And then eventually you get to build this comically small tank factory. And just by having it, it starts to build the tanks. So, yeah, it's building one. We'll get a tank in a minute. I wonder where it'll appear. They were like comically large, but now they are at least providing some scale, I guess. And they'll arrange into a formation around you is what they're supposed to do. And just generally follow your direction. Right. And then you can just press J and they'll stay wherever you left them. So let me just get this orbital. I can see now. Let's put it over here with the rest of the important stuff. So we'll go for orbital uplink. Oh, I can't build it yet. Do I have to? Oh, I needed 500 power. Okay. See, I tried to put some stuff in. It's still a bit. See, it's not supposed to be maximum power. It's supposed to be like regen amount, you know. So when you put something down, it will drain it, but it doesn't. It doesn't really work like that. It's more like just build 5 power stations and you can have anything you want. Okay, on me, boys. We're gonna go explore. I got 4 tanks, and my orbital uplink will be ready in a minute. So I guess we should show off the stuff. So if I just park. And then, if I remember right, what was the button for airstrike? Does anybody know? Does anybody know the? I think it's F. I've got the helipad, right? Yeah, I've got the helipad. Orbital. Well, that's orbital. What about the? Is it? Yeah, G. So it's like Helldivers, right? So up, down, up, and then I start running, and maybe I go throw it, and hopefully, oh, there it is. It threw the grenade. It lands. It's all quite basic, you know. It's like tech demo stuff. Do you know what I mean? But the idea is now I can do that. So yeah, let's go and have a look around, shall we? But yeah, you see what I mean? It came together pretty well. Now you just have to like tweak and stuff. Ooh. An enemy base with enemies that are spheres because placeholder, right? Take them out, boys. Get me an airstrike. Quick, throw it over there, and hopefully it actually gets thrown forwards and not into the ground. Oh, crap. Oh, we got him. We got him with the barrage. Oh, wait, no, wait. I completely missed. But yeah, I think you get the idea, right? We've made this sort of rudimentary game here as a tech demo. I could just leave them there to pester that base, you know what I mean? And then my base is back over there. So you've ended up with this sort of, what I would call it, a tech demo, which merges a whole bunch of different systems, which you can get all of those systems in the game dev JSX. So as I'm saying here, we used the Puppet JSX for the dungeon. We used the 3D layered terrain for the desert. We used the wingman support for the helipad, which I couldn't remember the button. We used the weapon. No, we're not using weapons. We're using explosion system for all of the explosions when the enemies get destroyed and whatnot. What else? Mission screens, control, low poly buildings was the original, or low poly ships I think is the original. Oh, hang on a minute, did I put the cheat codes in? Oh, I did. Hang on a minute, I just unlocked the cheats. So, God mode, infinite ammo, reveal all map. I don't even know what that is. Instant build on. I don't need the rest of it. Okay. Type the cheat code to close the cheat menu. Okay. It's cute. It all came together quite nicely. You know, it does all the things. Alright, let's move on. That's Desert Harvest. scuffdepot.com/Desert Harvest. And real-time endless desert, enemy rooms, no walls in the desert. So you just imagine a dungeon, but it has no walls. And then it's a desert. You see what I mean? So that's the trick there. The base building, airstrikes, tank production, orbital strikes, and the same VLMS vehicle with PDC. So next, we decided to go back to skill creation with the Carmack Romero Building Principles system. The dream team behind id Software's 1996 bull run, you could say, would be John Romero, John Carmack. Foundational principles from id Software. Okay? I called it Carmero as a portmanteau because it is really both of them. So this evaluates FPS game designs against id Software principles, scores each dimension from 1 to 5 with a weighted tier, identifies critical gaps requiring immediate attention. I've used this on a bunch of my plans and it does make them snappier and more fun to play. So it is a good skill, it does work. And like I said, it's going to go for core gameplay, technical excellence, level design, process. Alright. Polish as you go, always shippable code. Okay. So here we go. This is what he'll do. He'll make you a readme.md_cr for Carmack Romero. Trigger it by installing it, obviously, but then just say use Carmero or use Carmack Romero. You know, any of these will trigger it. I use it for evaluating plans and code bases to give me actionable reports and task lists. All right. If it's not fun, it's not done. John Romero. Moving on, because like I said, I think you get the idea. It's like having a virtual advisor who is a big fan of Carmack and Romero's work, and so it'll give you actionable suggestions and enhancements. It doesn't do the work for you. It gives you a list of actions to approve, and then you can decide what you want to do. Obviously, you could feed it to Claude Code and have him do it, but I would recommend reading your plans before you execute them. Okay. Look, I wouldn't have to say it, but nobody seems to say that enough. Read the plan. Then do the plan. All right. So plot twist principles. This one was done for a bit of fun. LLMs are a little bit weak when it comes to coming up with this sort of thing. So we've come up with a solid grounding with Jack Abrams, M. Night Shyamalan, and a bunch of others. Okay. We've got the history of plot twists. So again, this is going to help you create twists, evaluating twists, analyze twists, improve drafts for weak foreshadowing. Of course, I write everything backwards, so I don't really have the problem. But if you're doing it in post, this might be helpful. Okay, it's pretty good. The Bomb Under the Table from Alfred Hitchcock. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in there. I'm not going to go over it because it's a bit dry. But yeah, these are some of the more interesting and powerful things that I talk about, and I don't spend long on them. Moving on. We already looked at Desert Harvest. I think that I did an update because I put the proper game models in, you know, with the little buildings and the rest of it. Oh, and the UI as well, the UI. So if we go back and look, that's an interesting, no, go back again. Yeah, so if we look at the UI here, actually no, that's Gemini, that is. Gemini does amazing icons for his UI. So that's actually Gemini. So it looks like I ported it across and never showed a screenshot until it was finished. Those are the placeholder buildings, you see. Anyway, Desert Harvest. I already spent ages playing it. I'm not going to go on. So the juice skill. What is juice? Juice is the layered immediate proportional feedback that makes a game feel satisfying. Screen shake on impact, brief pause when attacks connect, particles that burst from collisions, the sound variation that prevents fatigue. Okay, all of this sort of thing. So this is going to evaluate your game or plan, either way, code bases or plans, it doesn't matter. It has Juice Brain, which is my deep research grounding document. It's all built into the skill. All of these files are built in. So you don't just get one prompt. You don't just get one system prompt. You get the whole thing, okay? So psychology of game feel, visual techniques, temporal manipulation, audio design, haptic feedback, accessibility requirements, implementation, and then we have a bunch of case studies and anti-patterns. These are the juice dimensions. Screen shake, hit stop, impact audio, particle effects, squash stretch, color effects, camera systems, UI juice, animation in the UI, animation timing in the game, input buffering, sound variation, and haptic feedback in case you want to do rumble shock. Okay, now as I can say, you can apply this to the code base or to the plan that you haven't executed yet. Either way is going to be valuable, and it's going to give you the similar thing to all my skills. It'll give you a nice markdown file which will contain actionable, it'll give you a report and a score most likely, and then it will give you suggestions, and those suggestions are actionable plans. So I would recommend taking your original plan and saying, rewrite my original plan to include these suggestions. And then we're sculpting the plan. And then through using multiple skills, you might use Kojima for this, you might use Toriyama for something else, you might use, you know, any of these skills, and that's going to sculpt the plan and make it more authentic or more fully envisioned. There's going to be less gaps in the plan. And so what I've been finding is you combine this with the TIN system and Claude Code, and you can pretty much make anything you can imagine. So, you know, I had the idea and then we made it. And it's not like, oh, the idea was... You just have to have the idea and understand the tool. Okay. So that's the juice skill. So obviously you can get a juice report and give yourself a juice pass, which is pretty sweet. Yes, halfway through development of the next game I want to show you, which is going to have a little bit of everything. We decided to have fun with the cloth physics. Okay, so I may as well just actually show the cloth physics, because this is a JSX as well. It's not like it's just written in JSX. So if I just grab this here, I grab the demo HTML, we'll just run it in the browser, and as you can see, we have the cape or flag, whatever you want to call it, cloak, clothing, cloth, and obviously we can do different materials, we can, different types of stiffness, and we've got sliders. It's a bit dark, you can't really read it because it's so dark. You can make the gravity, stronger or not, you know what I mean? You can have wind blowing a bit stronger or not. But the idea is this is a JSX component which you can just pull into any game. So obviously you're going to have to do some work, right? But it's just show the example of what can be done. And so obviously we did put it in our game, which is the next one we're going to look at. Oh my goodness. So if you remember back in December, we did a bunch of stuff with Meshi. We did Nano Banana before it was Pro. And we did Nano Banana, and we took some of my designs and we turned them into 3D models, and then we repointed them, and then we gave them animations. And that is how the Bunraku animation works on the intro. Intro? Oh wait, that's a different intro. Okay, maybe not that one then. But yeah, basically that's how it used to be. We used to have that intro. Could have sworn it was the right one just now. But anyway, so dude, this is one of the goons. He's a henchman for the game, okay? So this is Henchman Blue. Quick reminder, some games that forgot to get shared. This is going back to this is going back about a month. We did an XCOM game. It was a turn-based XCOM, Enemy Unknown. And then Robot Planet, I think I did show that 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago on the live stream. We'll show it again, just in case you never saw it. Okay, so this is New Game Plus. Okay, do we have graphics? No, it's all looking pretty good. Okay, so yeah. So I have multiple characters I can pick. I am an experimental... No, I'm Unit Treble O. Let's go with Unit Treble O. Can I do Hyper Mode? Yeah, let's do Hyper Mode. On which level do I want? The Fortress? This is probably one of the last. Anyway, it's Vampire Survivors with robots. Oh shit. I can't let them get close to me. Oh no. I'm slow. Why am I slow? Why am I slow? Why am I slow? I'm slow and crap. I shouldn't have picked this, whatever the hell this mech is. I regret my decisions. Instantly regret. Let's get the plasma cannon. Oh wow, the plasma cannon's sick. Hang on, I need to pick that up. Whoa. Okay, so yeah, you get the idea. Whoa, I got a problem where I don't think the enemies are freezing. I think when I do my upgrade, they're all getting me. Man, I got no guns. This normally you're like firing multiple guns all the time. Yes, boosters. Yes, we need boosters. Ah! And so anyway, this is using the 3D robot gen. It's using the terrain gen, but obviously with an extreme low poly, like Tron stylized grid. It's not ZeroByte, it's just random, you know? You know what I mean by that? The code. It's just random. It's not like super efficient #32 0 whatever instant paralyzed, you know. It's just this is just a tech demo, but it looks good. It looks good. It plays well. You have, like I say, different classes and New Game Plus and all this good stuff. Oh man. Where's my HP? I got 69 HP. Nice. My god, I think they actually, it's not just radius, they actually have to touch. They actually have to touch. It's not just like a radius thing. Those shapes they actually have to touch. Right, I need all that loot. I finally got a lightning bolt. I need to get all my loot. I need to get all that loot. So anyway, these sorts of games are super addictive, okay? I feel like there's something wrong with the graphics, though. I feel like something's gone wrong with this. Is there a Robot Planet 2? I feel like there's a Robot Planet 2. I'm terrible. I'm going to put a games arcade up soon, guys, so we have all... There's like 40 games now, and they're just the ones we made in the last 3 months. And I'm still making more of them. I've got more games in development right now. Oh my god. It's because the thing is, I used to teach Unreal Engine 4, and so when I see stuff like this, it just makes me go, oh, we can do all this really silly stuff and see if it'll let me do it, you know, because there are some things that you can't do for good reasons, right? So it's not always like a good idea. Like, for example, a lot of this procedural stuff, it's all well and good, but, you know, you can go too far with the procedural stuff. And I'll show you what I mean by that when we get to the Comfy UI implementation. Because I've basically made, what I've done is I've made some new Zenkai nodes which take advantage of the determinism to do prompt generation. And I found a way to ground it with simple JSON that you can write with an LLM. So it's basically like themed prompt generation without fine-tuning. And it's instant and it's procedural. You know, because the thing is, when you look at an LLM, it's not procedural, guys. You know, like if you generate a prompt, you can't generate that prompt again. You have to write it down. And so the thing about prompt enhancement at the moment is you can't really reproduce an enhanced prompt, but I think I found a way to do it. It's just, I'm still working on it. I literally made it like 2 days ago. Whoa. Oh my god. It's just ZeroBytes. So I used my ZeroBytes skill to improve my nodes. Yeah. I said, hey, ZeroBytes skill. Show me opportunities for the use of infinite determinism with Zenkai V5. And he was like, okay. And he did it. I feel like I should let myself die just to show you can actually die. A lot of my games, they're tech demo. So, you know, it's got, you know, you can't really die, guys. It's just there to have fun. But yeah, if I show a completely different unit, so that's the default unit on Endless, and we'll go with the Machine and the Hunter, which means I just get extra damage. I get 5%. I get extra damage and HP, but the speed cancels itself out. I'll go with this one then. So we're faster now, and we just got the yeah, see, and now I'm firing the fireball. Oh. Yeah, this is much easier. Probably looks exactly the same, doesn't it? See, the joke is, if you played this for like a while, you get to like level 10 or something, and then all of the attacks have like stacked up on themselves, and it starts getting a bit crazy. Whoa. The trouble when you pick all these like long-range weapons though is I'm never going to actually get them. I need the thing to level up. Energy Lash, there we go, more enemy weapons. Okay. I don't like the acid pool, but I'll take it anyway. It's because it like glows really brightly for some reason. I don't know why. When they lay up on each other, get more intense. It's like a little bug. You'll notice as well that everything is actually floating. Do you know what I mean? I think that the enemies do go up and down, but I don't. I just kind of float around on top of everything. EMP. Yeah, see what I mean with the super powered weapons that just stack on each other? It's kind of fun. Let me see, did I make a robot planet too? Oh, there, look at that. You even get stats. I don't think I did. Maybe I'll have to make a robot planet too. Yeah, we didn't make a robot planet too. All right. Robot planet. That was a couple of weeks ago. And then R Striker. This one has textures. There's a R Striker Demo 2, which isn't out yet. So you have a mission editor. You have and start campaign. So this would be a helicopter game. I won't spend long on this because I want to give it the proper reveal when it's done. But obviously you've got move. You can do like quick move. Oh yeah, this is out of date as well. Do you know what? I'll try showing you the one I'm working on as well. So it's Desert Strike. You know what I mean? It's I'm just trying to outrange them. Oh yeah, it's for some reason the buildings are hostile in this version. You can obviously pick up the POW and dodge the bullets. I don't know why they're not visible. Destroy him. I can't even see my missiles. Whoops, shooting civilians. Don't do that. All right. Simple. Yeah. Simple, right? So let me now show you the demo 2, or is it demo 2? There we go. The big difference with this one is it has some textures for character stuff. Okay, so we were experimenting with the RBG dialogue and Nano Banana. Now it's buggy, which is why I haven't brought this one out proper. See, look, where's the game? Oh, okay, we're in the game now, cool. Same chat, same general. We say, okay, thanks, general. You see, we got our character's face down in the bottom corner, like the Doom face. Now it's got animations for turning and firing. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow, when you fire the guns. That's really funny. Okay, does it do the missile as well? New contacts on her scope. Oh my god. Did she fire the missile then? I don't know. Alright. Whoops. I think I just clicked to skip. Oh no, I'm locked onto buildings. That's not good. Get the soldier. Thank God you're here. Get us out of here. See, he's got a little picture and everything. So I was just seeing if we could work out all of this sort of stuff. And we can. Oh, I've overheated my gun. Instantly overheated the gun. But yeah, the main thing was to integrate this chat system into the game. And the idea is that things happen in the game that trigger, you know, the chat. He's always saying the same thing at the moment, see? And then we've got a placeholder level as well. But I can do proper generative terrain to do all of that now. So a couple of things about this system which were different from others. Obviously we've got a helicopter, right? And it's following the mouse. That's a bit annoying. See, the way I actually did it, which was different than what I've done in things like Unreal, you would do like a cosine math to work out where the mouse is and then have this point. In the end, the best thing to do is to have a mouse over hit scan. So we're doing a ray trace to the floor, and then at that point, that's what the helicopter looks at. So it's like point and click. You know, it's kind of like used point and click to make the rotation work, which is kind of cool. You have to like hold the buttons and commit. You can't just click. If you just click, it doesn't do anything. We got that from the From Software skill. So if you're gonna fire a weapon, you have to hold it, and then it'll, you know what I mean? Everything is charge up for us in a way. Whoops, firing on buildings, firing on civilians again. Pick up Joe, whatever his name was. Rescued. And like I said, this is like a sandbox for testing all of the different things that can happen in the game. So, you know, hold F. Right. So you have everything in the game to develop the game, but you don't have to make, you know what I mean? There's all the different pickups, there's all the different enemies. Another thing we did was it has 3 quarters and then 2 quarters. So you got half the screen, you can look around and then target like this. But when you put your mouse on that corner here, this quarter, or on this quarter, it's going to rotate the camera. Oh wow, she is turning now. Look at the face at the bottom of the screen. Turn right, turn left. It's kind of sketchy, but you can see what we're trying to do. Left, is that left? And then right. Wait, is that the wrong way round? She's looking, is she looking left? No, she's looking right. She is looking right and she is looking left. Okay, it's fine. That's just funny. I wonder if we get the machine guns. Oh, she took some damage. Go on, shoot me. Oh no, she's taking damage, like the Doom guy, a bit. Oof. I'm trying to get hit here. Yeah, she is taking damage like the Doom guy. Yo, I'm fighting, but I'm still going. Let's see what this does. That's cool. Hang on, I need to bring this up so you can see it. I'm fighting, but I'm still I'm hit. I think it's glitched out. Black box recovered. Oh yeah, true. I never actually tested that. I gotta get my I gotta get my black box, guys. I got it. I got my black box. Oh no, I'm getting shot by invisible bullets. Get the soldier. Oh, I've nearly run out of chaff. See, normally you don't take damage, you just release chaff. Now I'm taking damage. Oh no, she's brilliant. 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 Alright. I'm happy with that. It does work. It just takes forever to download the assets. I think what I might do is do something where when you load the game up, it loads the textures to a IndexedDB or local storage in the browser cache. And then that way you're loading it locally, and yeah, it's literally like an asset loading problem. And then some Boolean got stuck. That's brilliant. All right, our striker. So I almost forgot to tell everyone about this game because it's so quick. You know, things happen so quick. So I'm going to save Dynasty Z Turbo 2 for the last feature. We're going to take a little look at the comfy stuff now. So I just want to show you how we apply the ZeroBytes skill with the ZeroPrompt system. So it's actually got really, really simple. You have this DJZ ZeroPrompt. You can get them on GitHub. And it's procedural determinism for prompt generation. So we have seed 42 and prompt index 42, and it's fixed. So if I just run this, we get close-up portrait, a warlock shape-shifting in a futuristic metropolis, Renaissance, lonely, highly detailed. And then over here we have the V2 version, which is currently loaded, the default.json. All of this is included in the nodes. And as you can see, it gives the exact same prompt. Okay. Now, here we have the default.json profile. So I have profile.jsons. So the default vocabulary that I've given away comes with 188 trillion combination prompts. All right. And it does that by using a dictionary pool for subject, action, environment, style, lighting, camera, details, mood, and templates. Okay? Now, at the moment, they all come in one JSON for this version of the tool. All right? And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what the hell, Johnson? Yeah, and you'd be right. But that's why I've got you covered. If I show you on the repo, infinite prompts, 188 plus trillion unique prompt combinations from the default profile, and that's all for one seed on the image generator. So I defend my right to claim infinite status. Like, you lock your seed, it's 188 trillion. How many seeds have you got? Okay, how many models have you got? How many image inputs are you going to combine with this? Anyway, we haven't even talked about LoRa's. It's infinite. So, Project Determinism Seed 42 Index 1000 produces identical output. O1 generation, direct hash computation, no file, I/O, no iteration. We're not using GPU here either. That's how it's able to work on all machines. It's a CPU specific. JSON silicon can be squirrely and not deterministic. So zero maintenance, so you don't have all those text files. You ever wanted to use one of my prompts and you don't have it? It's no good. So reproducible results share seed and index coordinates to recreate exact prompts. So that means that if you have a system and you have it working with this, you only need 2 numbers to get the prompt. Okay? All right. Now, like I was saying, the V2 is custom. So how do we make our own JSON vocabulary profile for specialized generation? It couldn't be easier, because I made you a skill. Obviously, you can write them out by hand if you're big brain. And I will note the template is here. So you can have any order, any template, any order with this. Okay? It doesn't have to be what these say here in this order. It just has to match. You could just have subject action and just have subject action. Or they could be called something else, doing something else. It's very dynamic. I tried to make a future-proof system for you guys. Now, if we have a look here, template variables, for the example, you can use whatever you want. Okay? Variables depend on the pools defined. Okay, so it's going to use XX hash 32 under the hood. That's what's doing all of the work. And we're going to be using hash seeding. Now, if I keep going, I come with a cyberpunk and a fantasy profile, which I'll be showing you in a minute. And I want to explain how this works. So, we've already talked about all that. We've already talked about that. Okay, hang on. I need to go into the skill folder because it's got a different readme. I thought I updated it. So we have the ZeroPrompt profile builder.skill or skill.md, depending on how you're using your Claude. Now, where's the other readme? Give us a sec. Ah, there it is. Right. And then we scroll down to the bottom. I don't know why it's in there. Skill folder just for the skill. Okay, Claude Code skill. Converting existing prompt files. So I have converted prompt lists with hundreds of lines, thousands of lines. I've also converted enhancer prompts. So if you have a system prompt that does prompt enhancement, that can also be turned into one of these. And I would recommend using both of them at the same time. But we're going to show you that. So you would ask Claude, so you upload your prompts, one per line, and you say convert this prompt list to ZeroPrompt profile, or create a JSON profile from these prompts, or reverse engineer this into vocabulary pools. The skill will analyze the prompts, extract the vocabulary into semantic pools, synthesize the templates, and generate a ready-to-use JSON profile. So let's get back to the comfy and I'll show you. So I already have these, what I made earlier. So if I go into woman, I was trained on my woman v3 prompt list. And so we have this. A striking woman emerges from a towering megacity carrying a rifle. Spacecraft hover in the city. The mood is tense and dramatic. Profile, black hair, navel, midriff, weapon, sword, holding sword, mecha, robot, science fiction, horror theme. It's not bad for a start. And what I would do is I'd put this into my prompt enhancer as well. So this is deterministic and is 100%. But you could run that just like that. But I find then shaping it through an enhancer as well is like even more powerful. But that's like a bit more advanced, I guess. So if I show you the Iraqi JoJo one, which I just put together from the Iraqi skill. High impact digital art, rule of thirds with dramatic offset of a regal figure in exaggerated S-curve stance, outfit reflecting inner nature and ability, hands telling stories through gesture, non-naturalistic saturated palette, dramatic side lighting, commanding authority, energy, and crisp graphic rendering. That would be a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure prompt right there. But the nice thing about it is it allows you to put your character on top. Note how it doesn't say, sometimes it will, but a lot of the time it's written in a loose way. So if I was to put an image input with this prompt, it's going to follow my image input, but then listen to what I asked it to. So it becomes quite dynamic. If we take a look at the Iraqi JoJo right there, and we can see here, this one only has, it's only 38 trillion prompts, guys. You know, it's probably on the lighter end of the scale. But yeah, it's 38 trillion. It's pretty good. So yeah, we did this by straight analysis. Okay. And we've done this in the past many, many times. Upgraded everything and stuff. So let's talk about it. So the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure skill. What does it mean? What? Yeah. And let's have a look. So this is the JoJo's design skill based on Iraqi grounding. So you can see in here, if you go into the skill, oh wait, no, I've got it there, yeah. So the grounding is here, JoJo's Bizarre Design grounding. And that was used to create the skill, which was then also used to create the enhancer. So the ENH goes with my ENH system, and then the design skill goes into the ZeroPrompt. Sorry, I'm wrong. That's the skill for Claude. Yep. So we have the grounding document, which I wrote, the image enhancement, agent, and then the Claude Code skill. You put those two things together, look, it turns a man in a suit into this. And then the design skill is going to create us our ZeroPrompt mapping. Oh yeah, but sorry, I keep getting confused with the ZeroPrompt thing. This one will do three things. It'll do markdown plan enhancement, narrative illustration advisory, so say you want to make storyboards, so storyboard enhancement, look. So that's one of the things this skill will actually do, because there's a bit of a code to it. If you read the grounding, Iraqi is actually, he has explained in detail notes about impact of the scale of cells in manga design and things like this. He's got like a language, a formula, which is very interesting. So yeah, we aim to capture the essence of style without copying, because I'm not interested in just making Iraqi. His work is his work, and he's a legend. But what I want to know is, if I was his student, what would get me good marks? If I was to make something in that style, what would get me good marks? You know, rather than just photocopying. Yeah. Okay. So that's the JoJo's design skill. Another feather in the cap. Oh yeah, and then we did some fun stuff. So did you know that if Napoleon won the war, if Napoleon won, we would all be... That's not a live demo. Hang on, let me get the proper live demo. I didn't know this. French time. I didn't know about this. So this is something which took me by surprise. I was doing a bit of a Substack article writing about things that were like really crazy. Everyone had to do it. So while Napoleon was in charge, yeah, they had a 10-hour day, and each hour was 100 minutes, and each minute had 100 seconds. So they had a decimal clock during the French, after the French, decimal time of the French Republic. I never knew about this. And obviously it failed, right? Because, who uses decimal time now? Maybe somebody, I don't know. But they're saying this was one of the biggest failures, you know what I mean? Because they literally made a new system of time, made everybody do it. And if Napoleon had won, it would be 7:24 and 96 seconds right now, which is it's something. But we decided to make this. He renamed the months as well. He renamed the months, the days, the hour. He changed how many. This is what happens when you get a true dictator. He comes in and he just changes everything. So yeah, obviously it was year 0. So if Napoleon had won, it would be 9 Germinal in the year 234. The name day is Epinard, and yeah, that's the time. Star Trek uses decimal time. No, do they? Is that how they read out the Stardate 7:25 40.45? No way. Thank you, Dom. That's really interesting. I never even... Because it does look sci-fi, doesn't it? It looks sci-fi because it's wrong. Everyone knows it's 60 minutes and 60 seconds and 12 hours, and so that, yeah, anyway. Little bit of a thing. But this is a JSX component. I wanted to make it so that you can embed it in games, so you want to have a sci-fi clock in a game. That's funny. Psychologically, I was going to do the same thing. People in my community will attest to that one, because I was going on about it. I was like, oh, that would look really cool, like the Predator bomb. When the Predator bomb is counting down, and it counts down for longer than you expect, because it's not actually the same system of time. Yeah. All right, let's get into prompt warp. So, going off of the ZeroPrompt system, I now have this. There we go. So I have this now, and I can slow it down. Okay, and then the text gets bigger, and I can speed it up, and the text gets smaller. So it's like literally it's a warp tunnel, but it's driven by my new ZeroPrompt system, which is obviously generating prompts, at runtime instantly from the default JSON. And I can change the direction as well, because I thought it would be fun to stand in front of this, for certain videos and whatnot. So we made a V2 version of this as well, which allows the customization, you know what I mean? So where is it now? Here we go. Boom. So this one, I can switch the profile over to my Valkyrie aesthetic. And we can slow it down. There we go. I just thought this is a kind of cool aesthetic, which I'll probably be using. Let me slow it down even more. It's amazing. So these are all prompts from my Valkyrie enhancer. Amazing. And it's exactly the sort of generative aesthetic that I want when I want to pull things up on the screen, you see. So that's the idea with that one. Now, earlier I was talking about how you can go too far with this stuff. And I have another ZeroPrompt system which called it's called Zero to JSON or Z2J. Now, I believe it's out. I believe it's up on GitHub. But this is the thing, guys. You're not supposed to use them all at once. Like, I know that the demo example workflow has them all being used at once, and it does work. But this is like the ultimate randomizer, because you've got no real control over it. You know what I mean? You'd have to write custom dictionaries for every single... And you can do that, and that is the intention. But I just wanted to sort of note the Zero to JSON nodes, because there are like 12 of them. They are, say you've got your prompt and you want to do different lighting on that prompt. You can put the ZeroPrompt lighting and plug it in, because it only does lighting. You see what I mean? At the moment, this does the whole prompt in one shot. So I've obviously made another repo, another custom node pack, which is breaking down all the inputs for my JSON system. So I've got nodes which do JSON orchestration for prompting, allowing you to precisely control every single field, and you can drive it with like inputs and randomizers. And so this is the ZeroPrompt version of that. So that's the reason that exists. That's what it does. Hopefully I've explained that. And then we got into Engelbert's fragments, which is going back to the birth of the internet with hypertext. And I thought it was a cool idea. He had this thing called Xanadu. I don't know how much I want to say about that right now, because we're getting to the end of the show and I want to show you the last game. So let's see. So this is a big thing about, you can look it up, scuffdepop.com. Purple Numbers. It's Doug Engelbart's Purple Numbers. You could talk a lot about this, so we might be speaking more on this soon. But the bottom line is, I made Xanadu for fun today. Okay, if you know what that means, you know what that means. SVG warp. Ah, yes, and then of course. You know me, I'm not gonna, hey, Kurt Curtis. So I had to make one with SVG, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? Of course I had to. So we can speed it up and we can slow it down. And we can change the theme with C. Different color palettes, just like, do you remember my SVG art grid? This is SVG art tunnel, okay? Again, using ZeroBytes, the coordinate is the artwork. ZeroBytes stores infinity. So we've applied ZeroBytes to the warp tunnel with SVG. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at ZeroBytes. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's ZeroBytes. And I'm finding that there's almost infinite application for ZeroBytes. Oh, we've got a mistake there. Define. Okay. And so what it's doing is it's using ZeroBytes to generate the SVG, everything about them. Like the location determines what it's going to be. And so when you have a spawner, it's using a ZeroByte to determine... Anyway, whatever. I'll go on about it. You can read it. It's all fun and games. So Zero to JSON came out. Zero to JSON is what I was just talking about. So we got two prompts packs for you guys. We have the DJZ ZeroPrompt skill, which is for making your own custom Yeah, ZeroPrompt. So you have the ZeroPrompt nodes, which comes with the skill to make your own profile builder. So the ZeroPrompt nodes just replaces my Zenkai, so you don't need a text list. Infinitely procedural, and you can create your own grounding so that the dictionaries are seeded with the content that you're trying to make. It also came with a skill, yeah. And then next I did 0 to JSON. Now the difference with 0 to JSON, do you know what? Let's just get the JSON. I bet I don't even have it installed on this computer because it's so new. Let's find out. Comfy! Yeah, I don't even have it. But you can see it laid out though. That's fine. This is good enough. So I have my Flux to JSON prompt assembler. So what it does is it breaks all of the different elements that you may or may not be using in a JSON style prompt, okay? And it breaks it down into individual pieces. So we have a subject array that goes into the prompt assembler node. We have a bunch of optional inputs, and all of them have been connected up to ZeroBytes inputs. Now, I say you don't use them all at once. But this is what happens. If you use them all at once with 2 subjects, this is what you get with my system, okay? So, can you see here the mood? And so you can imagine that mood JSON, mood default can be customized, yeah? And then it's just going to give mood, but it's procedural to the 2 seeds, so you can guarantee that if you have the right numbers, you're always going to get the same thing. And so, again, subject creator, everything is plugging in. Description, action, pose, position. So you could say this is going to create, random poses for you. Just the pose, though. You see what I mean? It's like it's a randomizer for a piece of a prompt template. And then the system assembles them all at the end. Now, this is a demo to show you what the system does. But if I'm being honest, you don't need all of them. You probably use one or more of them to augment and extend the capability of a randomizer. So, I just want to add a bit of subject position variation. So, but here's the thing, it's procedural. So if you have the right numbers, you get the same thing every time. Very important distinction between normal LLM enhancement and this is it's reproducible. Okay. Obviously, there's caveats in your own workflow design, right? But the bottom line is, if you want, scene 5252, it will be that every time. It will be quiet, suburban neighborhood, misty dawn, crisp water. And you might want to alter this programmatically. And obviously, when it's just numbers, that's easy. Rocco Smodernivs says, what do you think? Will OpenClad soon bring a new kind of AI that can access computers more deeply and offer more true? Yes, it's already happened. I don't know about OpenClaude, but it will happen because Claude right now has browser use. If you take a look in my browser right here, we have Claude in the browser. Yeah, you can't see him, he's behind me. God. Well, anyway, I've got Claude here, bottom line. OpenClaude, yeah, that's okay. The thing about OpenClaude, or Claude, or Moltbot, or whatever, they keep Moltbot, they keep changing the name. The reason that it's insecure is because it's so open. So you can't have open without, how can you have open security? Think about it. The two things fight each other, right? So you can have open source, and then everyone knows what the code is, and that's good because there's nothing nasty in the code, but it's bad because anyone can take the code and put nasty stuff in it and redistribute it. So you've got two problems, right? And the thing with OpenClaude was, or OpenClaude, ClaudeBot, Moltbot, all these things, they're trying to repackage stuff that's open source, and then anybody can just add stuff to it, and then you get in trouble, don't you? You get in trouble, don't you? People putting crypto rootkits in the skills. See, all my skills are released open source on GitHub, so you can read them and you know exactly what's in them. But if you go on my platform and click a button, you don't know what I'm doing. So you have to trust that platform that when you click that button, you know. But if I'm being completely honest, you want Claude Code CLI or Open Claude CLI, Open Code with CLI, local models, Olama, you can already do it. It's already got that deep, effective support that you're looking for. It's just that it's paywalled or a pro feature at the moment. And so what I think will happen is things like Open Code, they're going to get better and more capable, and there'll be less reasons to need to pay. So if you want the latest and the greatest, you're always going to be paying for it. But if you just want to get stuff done, and what you can get done for free is increasing as time goes on. I use Olama with Open Code and local models. I've been using under 4 gigabyte models for testing in the last couple of weeks. And even though they're not obviously as good as ChatGPT or Claude, they are as good as it was like a year and a half ago. So this is the other thing people forget. A year ago, it was good. So compare a year ago to current local, and you'll find the gap is actually quite small. Okay? It all came down to tool use and speed. So if you don't care about speed, and we have tool use now, well, let's see. The latest model which I just got. Well, it's not really the latest model that I got my hands on or anything. But yeah. Let's have a look what we got here. But anyway, back to what we're doing. So yeah, great things will grow out of it. I think Olama said it best when they said they're bullish on local models, and I said that's a great way to put it because it's true. You have to be bullish on this stuff. We're still early. It's the cheapest it's ever going to be. So I try to get as much as I can out of the local models for like free stuff. So like, for example, why are you asking, because Claude Opus is like a rocket to Mars, and you've got him writing readmes. This is the sort of thing where a local model could come in and do that work. Yeah. So this is what I mean by just trying to be a bit more efficient with what you're using. But it's totally up to you, really. There is good reason why you just use Opus for everything. It's faster. He's going to fix problems when he runs into them. There's a time aspect there. Anyway. So that would be the final thing. Talking Terrence is an experiment. I invite you to check it out. I'm not going to say a word about it. So now we can look at the last feature of the show. So that would be Thora's first game. Here it is. Right. So, in this game, it's inverted bullet hell. Also in this game, it had the juice skill. So there's camera shake and all kinds of stuff going on. We used Meshi with Nano Banana to make the 3D models, which have full animations. There are 4 enemy types and the main character. Now, it's the first game that we've done with GLB animations, okay? So I'll have to say it's a bit sketchy sometimes, but I think it came out okay. The 3D terrain system is done with ZeroBytes, and it's based on my original, we improved my, how I gave out all the JSX? I take that, I improve it with ZeroBytes, I make the new one. I put it in the game and it works. That's how it is, and anybody can do it. You just need to get the experience in so you know where not to fall down a pit of time wasting or nonsense. Okay. And then let's get on with it. It's fully procedural, so you have the seed. The seed will determine what the world is. Obviously it's not going to change that much. It's probably just like the distribution of enemies and whatnot. So here we have our character, and she's got a floating sword around her. And the game is, there are enemies that are coming on, they're landing from space, we got to kill them. Simple. Dominic says, where's Steve? He needs to get your coffee. To be honest, mate, we're going to be done soon because, I am thirsty. Basically, my coffee machine's down. Where is Steve? Exactly. We're doing a bit of an early show today, guys. So I'll be almost done. This is it. We're nearly done. I'll be running to get my coffee too. But yeah, good point, Ron. Good point. We're nearly done now. So here we have a 60 FPS game, apparently. We can move. Apparently the animations are broken. There we go. There we go. Where animations are back. So we can run. We have the sword flying around us. There are places of interest around. It's just a big, like, wasteland type thing here. If we go to one of the little red markers, why is my animation all screwed up? There we go. Some reason, this is what I mean, like little bugs, like animations are all screwed up. So anyway, we're going to go and find some enemies. I'll show you the combat, because it is pretty much all about the combat. We can just dash. All right. So there we have enemies. That's where they're going to land. Now, if I press right click, left mouse button, okay, she's going to start doing a thing. Now, I don't know why she... Yeah, there we go. It's weird. It's like her animations are screwing up. There we go. So in we go. Now, they're going to start firing at me, and everything's going to bounce off the sword, basically. But the sword is going to deflect everything, right? But at the moment, nothing is hitting anyone. Look at these guys just teleporting in. They just keep teleporting in to fight me. Right, so now we're going to actually block. I need to make the camera higher. Whoa! Okay, we got to get in there and fight him. So I was basically inspired by, what do you call it, Bayonetta? Mostly because I don't have sword slashes right now. So she dances while the sword does all the killing. And we've just done our best to use reflection for that. So yeah, it does look mental. But if I go up and I've got a slash, I can do a slash here. But she hasn't got a sword, so it's kind of pointless, you know what I mean? The amount of screen shake is gratuitous as well, I will say. Alright, let's take these guys, let's finish them off. Go on, shoot me. And like I said, for it's like a completely different game concept, you know. I don't think there's a game where you bounce bullets back at enemies with a floating sword, but I might be wrong. There's a lot of games I haven't played, so are they gonna die? We're gonna get the last two guys. Oh, I've got upgrades, guys. There we go, we got him. You should add POV perspective. Yeah, I am actually. The next game in the list is first person. I want to do first person now. Because we've got 3D models. I've got all my goons. I've got my 3D world. I've got my dungeon sim. You know, we can do stats. We can do everything. Look at the flag. Look at the thing. It is actually cloth, but it's super square. Oh, and your animations are broken again. Right, let's get down low. Oh. But to be honest, right, if you go back a month and look at 2 months. Go back 2 months and look at the games we were putting out, like while we've been messing around, and they're nothing close to this. They're nothing close to this. This is like, give me a budget and I'll make Breath of the Wild, you know what I mean? It's like, because obviously this is all prototyping stuff that's done in QuickTime. It took like a couple of days, maybe, if that. And this is off time as well. I wasn't sat there all day doing this. I literally said, we're going to make the game with these mechanics, write up my implementation using the tin skill. He makes the game, I run it, I look at it, I say, we're going to change this, this and this. Write me a new tins implementation plan. And then we do that. You know? The 3D models came from the December project. If you go back in the live streams to December, you'll see us showing off all of how we put the, you know, this model that we've got here, you know. She's even got an idle queue, look. She's doing like different idle stuff. So I wanted to, there's lots of little experiments in this game. So this is the scuffedepoch.com DZT in capitals 2. DZT2-demo is the name of the demo. You can have a mess around with that. You can look forward to the first person stuff, which is what we're messing around with next week. I'm only on the Sunday streams at the moment because I'm doing a lot of consultation at the moment with clients, so I'm busy as hell. And so this is like my pleasure, the Sunday afternoon roundup of all of the random stuff that we've put on the open source side of the company, you know, because this is what I do enjoy. It's giving away all of this stuff. And let me just double check what I've got here. Let's see if I've got anything because I gotta go out the door. Oh, bridge spore. We're not allowed to talk about that. It's mine though. Bridge spore is mine. Allegedly. Some games. R-Tank CR. That would be a special version of React Tanks, which is done with the Doom guys' skill. All right. That's it, guys. We've done it. The biggest thing, I think, for anybody interested is the DJZ ZeroPrompt and then the skill that allows you to make your custom for the V2 version. In fact, let me just show you quickly what that looks like. So let's just go to one which... What? What's going on here? Am I in... I'm in hand mode. And I can't see the window. Hey, Comfy, you can't see it. It's under the taskbar on Windows. You need to fix it. So anyway, we're going to do the... where are we? Where's my Valkyrie? It's not there. We do Empire. Empire is recognizable. So as you can see here, right, do you see what's happened? I used the skill on my prompt list for my LoRa. I have a LoRa called E, so 3MP1RE, that's the trigger. So it's Empire style. I have a bunch of LoRas called Empire, okay? Trained on different things. Now, I've taken the captions, so that means all of the prompts for the model that I trained. So I take the captions, not the images, just the captions, put them in one file, a prompt list. I have a node that can make that too. In fact, is it just called prompt list? Yeah, I have a node called captions to prompt list. You can use this to make all your captions. You just put the directory in and save the file, okay, with a save text node. Now, I trained with the skill, so I used the ZeroPrompt profile builder skill, which is part of the repo, to input all of the captions from that model. And now I've got like, what is it? How many? How many did I get? Now I have 348 billion. I got 348 billion variations based on that, okay? No LLM. Do you know what I mean? You can use the LLM on like after that if you want, but it's got the tag. Look. Do you see what I mean? We've got the tag. It is describing with the correct words, right? And the joke is that if I put that into my LoRa, it will make genuinely new images that align with the concept which I've never typed. You see what I mean? Because this is extremely powerful. And again, if I was to change either the seed or the index, I'm going to get a different prompt. Now, the only thing at the moment is you don't have much control, right? And this is why I came up with the other version, which is, you know, splitting everything out. So say I just want to do Z2J. Oh, I don't have the Z2J nodes installed, do I? Yeah, we've done everything we can now at this point. I've reached the end. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next Sunday, probably at an earlier time because I prefer finishing not in the darkness. And yeah, I'll be sure to reach out to you soon, Dom. Thanks very much. Thanks to everybody. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to watch the beginning of the show because we did start early and there was not many people around. You probably missed some stuff. And yeah, get the tin skill. All right. See you next time, guys.
How to see those. Have feeling with war.